Hi, salutations, greetings, salutations, salutations, and greetings. My name is Margie. I'm a scoffer, I'm a mocker, I'm a heyokampath. Just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I think we slept pretty good last night. Mom's still sleeping? Whew. It's nice and cozy and warm. Every time I woke up, I was excited about the prospects of the future, really. It's been a long time since I lived like that. I've been in a survival state for a long time. Out here, help me, help me, help me. Nobody would help me, so I became the helper. So whenever I felt like I needed help, I went out and I just found everybody I could possibly find to help. It doesn't matter if they needed help carrying their groceries or getting out of an intersection or, reaching something that they can. It don't matter as long as you see somebody that can't do something on their own and you just give them the nudge they need. We're just supposed to be custodians of this earth. Stewards, they say. I say custodian. Bible said stewards. It's synonymous, really. You're supposed to keep things clean and tidy and nice and make sure, things that get stuck, help them get unstuck. This crazy world is made up of people that like to give themselves props and fake things like money so they can perpetuate the program. See, I never lived on the same planet as everybody else. I see things so much different than normal regular people, because I always thought the stuff that normal regular people did was silly. And then there's like a few people that set the standard to what normal and regular is, and then all these other people that don't have the same access, don't have the same means to the designator, yet they're all penalized for falling short. When I was a little girl, I found out Mom got my first birth chart done when I was born. I've been tracking astrology a lot for a few years in there between when I was discouraged, so I just left it alone. And then I picked it back up in 2016, and I listened to a lot of astrologers. I listened to a lot of people on the internet, because basically I'm getting interpretation based of how they perceive things based on their astrology. So I'm actually learning more about them based on how they're interpreting things. And people that use like fake stuff, you probably aren't going to like it here. If you're all about that. See, because the way I look at it, intelligence, artificial, it's been around for all time. It's been around since, William Randolph Hearst. He was a publisher. You see, because that's how you want to influence people in masses. Print out a bunch of stuff and hand it out to people that'll believe anything they read. So AI actually started with the printing press. That's how I look at it. Because you can just print things. They don't have to be true. You just have to just tell people and give it to them as truth, and then they'll take it on as truth, because they don't know themselves. They don't have enough sense to learn what the truth is for themselves. So I share my truth here. And so for years, like I was saying, I listened to freaking all the over the years, I have listened to astrologers that aren't even on anymore. Barack, is that what her name is? She had problems with her eyes. She quit about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Marge, that's how I found my house in Taos, New Mexico, was from her. I've listened to the Leo Cub. I've listened to Lori Lothian, Steve Judd. I've listened to Rick, R-I-K Rick. I've listened to Rick Levine. I've listened to Anastasia, Cosmic Astrologer. I've listened to, and see, because I just put my headphones on and I just listen while I'm living my life. And then I take on their interpretations and I put them in with mine, and I'm like, oh, okay. This is how the world's going to go. Because people have free will, yet the reality of it is they're controlled by these magnetic puppet strings on planetary lines of energy, and they could live. And our free will is, okay, I have this task I can do, and if I do it, I'm going to do it this way. It's going to be from spirit source connectivity. And if I do this task, it's going to be from ego, because I just feel like it, because don't you know who I am? And that's the free will that people have on this earth, yet they go around chasing sensations. And my media feed is showing up all kinds of people that didn't have a good holiday, and to that I say, stop playing the stupid reindeer games and quit doing holidays. And then think about all the disappointment that wouldn't happen in the world because people have these expectations because they had a good time 25 years ago and it felt good inside, and then they've been trying to recreate that good feeling inside for 20 years, and it's like chasing a freaking rainbow color unicorn. Not that I don't think unicorns exist, or don't exist, I should say. I believe in all things possible, multi-universe. For every thought, for every idea, that taps us into the no place space. And then how we act on these thoughts creates the reality in which we live. And that's why I'm so excited, because I know what I want to do. In conjunction to being mom's caregiver, because mom's still got a few years in her. She can handle herself pretty good. Huh, Mom? Yeah. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find her forever home. In the spring, it's time. We're going to find her forever home. And then I'm going to buy, I already have the stuff that I want. I'm going to buy more stuff. I'm just going to stay home with Mom. And we're just going to wake up and celebrate every day we're together. And I'm going to make candy. And then there's this Eli chick on TikTok that made a t-shirt printing contraption to make screen printing. So I'm going to buy me one of them real nice fancy label vinyl cut printers like we used to have when I was in the Air Force. I used to use it to make signs. I used to use it to make stuff, signs and stuff. I use it to make decals to put on the equipment, stuff like that. Per technical order, blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna create things, and then I'm gonna load, and then I'm gonna make meals and food, and then I'm gonna go in the area around in which I live, and then I'm just gonna share the stuff that I make, just that's useful, and just to make people feel good. Because I found that when you show people compassion and give them stuff and love bomb them, for lack of a better word, if they're anything like me, they're going to be reciprocal of that love, and they're going to take that love, and they're going to use the energy that they feel, the goodness that they feel, and they're going to perpetuate that out to other people. See, it's because the takers, they're the ones that don't like giving. It's us that have gone without so much in our lives. We know how to share. Sharing is caring, and yes, we do. And no, they don't. Because the world is evolving. We still got to see so much. People have to see things to change. People have to go through pain to change, because they haven't done an oven by themselves. They just keep going to freaking Hawaii and Greece and all these vacations when they travel around. the populations of people that are unhoused just keep getting bigger and bigger, and it's just, how can people ignore? I can't ignore stuff. I gotta try to do something better, or I gotta go. And that's why I'm done with Taos. I'm so done with this place. The prospect, the idea of us staying here, it just, I need to be around people that are stimulated. It pains me to be around just a bunch of stupid cousins, and it's no different in any other place I ever lived. Salem, Oregon, Redding, California, Omaha, Nebraska. It's that low hum of, we're just gonna do this because this is what we always done, and none of that stuff makes anything better. And I want to be around people that are more motivated, that have more brain stimulation, that have more synapses firing off, and they don't live their lives just because of they saw what other people did on TikTok. I never been big on trends because I ain't mainstream. See, because me and Mom, we're of the anomaly. And like attracts like. So based on that, not a whole lot of people like me. That's all right, because I don't really like a whole lot of people either. It's a two-way street. I like people that are motivated to use that, charge their batteries, and then they use that to be generous and kind. I get crabby when I get around selfish people, and that's what I noticed the last 5 years. The place I live in Taos, I'm surrounded by a freaking... Because that's how I used to act back when I was drinking and just doing what I wanted whenever I acted like all these people. I don't want to act like that anymore. So I'm not going to try and change their behavior. No, I'm just going to act like how I want to act, someplace far away from the land of the stupid cousin. Like, it's like they got all these, they got so much energy inside, right? When they get in their big trucks with their big lift kits, these little 5, 6, 5, 7 little dudes. They climb up in their big old trucks and they go zooming off down the road, and I'm just like, where are they going? Are they going to make a Taos the best place? They gonna go make Taos a better place? Are they walk off to work hard for their family? No, because they're in the $80,000 truck, but if you go back to their house, their kids, they're freaking wearing clothes that don't fit. They're out of, the water don't work, but the dad needs what he needs to do to take care of, no, he needs what he needs to do to take care of his own ego. I've seen it for decades. That's the American way. I'm so glad things are changing from the patriarchy where because that's how I grew up. Dad worked a long, hard day in the oil fields. He comes home with this swamp ass and his fucking nastiness, and it's like, well, if you love me because I'm your dad, you'll take off my boots. And then I would. And brother would throw his socks on me and stuff like that. And then later I went and worked in the military where men work really hard. Oh, no. That is a part of the American dream. All the military is, they're freaking regular people dressed up in little costumes to help portray roles so that the American public will freaking have parades and so they can sell fireworks. Meanwhile, every 4th of July, veterans are just hearing the blow-em-ups, being reminded there's never any weapons of mass destruction. We never have any reason to be on any other foreign land killing people when the people on our own land are starving. It's an oxymoron is what military intelligence is. And then they have the whole system of, you got these freaking little assholes in high school that their mommies told them they had the golden wiener and that they could do no wrong, or they saw that they were a little bitch and tried to correct the behavior, and the mother was strong, and then the little boy grew up. I don't like strong women. I want a nice young thing that I can control, because strong women will put me in my place, and egomaniacal, well, they find that they have no place. And then they do 2 years in the military, and then they get out, and then they go back home to where they came from, and they use that 2 years and said, look, I defended my country. No, you sat there in a chair for 2 years, collected a paycheck so that your hometown didn't have to deal with your shit. And then they go back and get a job at the cop shop where they still have that mentality that they can do no wrong, yet they're in the military, and now all of a sudden they got some magical chip on what designates who the good guy and who the bad guys are. And in their mind, anybody that they're friends with is the good guy, and anybody that they're not friends with is the bad guy. Then they go back and work in their cop shops, and they start doing stuff like thinking about all the people that ever pissed them off. And then they use the systems to go after people that make them mad. And everybody just thinks they're just the greatest guy. I used to go to AA meetings, and they had this dude, like, I couldn't fit, I think he was like an Epstein or something. He looks like an Epstein, looks like a creep. And he did that cop system where he did 2 years, went back, became a cop at Philly, went all the way up the ranks, meanwhile getting happy endings, cheating on his girlfriend, meeting his wife with his eggplant in his hand the first night they meet, like really dirty, gross, it's not like two consenting adults, it's like an unsuspecting adult, young adult, 21, and a 40-year-old dude that can't control himself. Yet they're always the ones that have said, why are you so emotional? See, people tell you who they are. That's why I'm so careful about what I say, because when I talk about character defects in others, I'm only identifying with character defects that I have, that I see in them. So I really am cognizant of not talking too much trash, And we're all on different paths. My path is just of the whole of the authentic, I guess, is the best word. I live on the path of authenticity. So whenever I cross paths with people, like that old book, Go Dog Go. Do you like my hat? No, I do not like your hat. Okay. Have a nice day later. You too, take care. Like, you don't have to agree with people to coexist. And I've been trying to, be agreeable to coexist, and people just will switch it up because that's what manipulators and power trippers do. And so I don't play reindeer games. And so I finally am at a point in my life that I don't need to participate in anything that anybody out there wants to do. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to turn on a screen and talk in a certain way so people go, oh, here's money so you can pay your bills and I don't have to do any of that. I don't have kids. I gotta make sure they go to a university in 18 years that universities probably aren't even going to exist, And I can't afford to support other people. Pay attention to who you're paying to give you information and what they do with that information, because the more people put fake information out, it's like they give it reaches more people, because like attracts like and fake attracts fake. And you're gonna find, I'm really happy to see astrologers not using intelligence artificial, because when you see the ones that do, you look up your own chart, time and place, and it's like when you have 3 Apple devices, iPhone, phone, and iMac, and they all have 3 different times on them, and you wonder, which timeline am I in? Which time is the real time? Well, it's like that with astrology, because you there's so many places you can go and put your chart in, and then there's all these different kinds of astrology. There's Chinese astrology, there's Vedic astrology, there's Western tropical astrology. And so you put your coordinates in, and then it says that the planets were in the sky at this time, right? Well, if that's the case, every single one of them should be congruent. They all should be the same, but that's not the case. And some apps my sun is 20 degrees Aries, 19, 21. It depends, so like, where am I? What am I? It doesn't matter what it says you are. Really only matters in life, I think, is what people do with what they are. Because I fight myself every day. And my police record reflects that my spirit has won over my ego. And I'm surrounded by people that just, it's self-will run riot. Like I live in Babylon. People get mad, they get hurt. They just do whatever they can to make you feel bad too, to retaliate, to get back at you. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live around people like that. I want to live around people that it's like, you got beef with me? What's your beef? Let's talk about it. I tried to do that with the Leo Cup, and that little bitch, he hasn't changed, except he created 2 more people on the earth that are going to think like him. Uh-oh. Because it's just more people that, like, if something happens to mommy and daddy, who's going to take care of them? Doesn't make any sense. You got people shut up in their house that just look at me. TikTok, people on TikTok lives, they're just like this. I scroll through and there's just people like this. And so in the chat, it's just people watching somebody looking at themselves. And I'm like, why don't they have nothing better to do? Nothing, ever. And all the freaking 40, 30, and 20-year-old grown men that are still playing video games, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How do any of your wives look at you like, oh yeah, you're the man. Come to me, daddy. Because it's just so silly. It's like we live on a playground where nobody has to work. All these people live in houses that have never built a house. All these people stuff themselves and overindulge, and then they fill. Your stomach is only this big, right? Your heart's this big. Your stomach is this big. Yet look at what people stuff into their stomachs. And then what happens? They feel bad. They get all sick. All these people have cancer. More people get cancer. I mean, cancer is something that you heard every now and again in the 70s and the 80s. And now it's like nothing. Cancer don't discriminate against nobody. Mom made it to 75 yesterday. She don't have cancer. I don't have cancer. And if we did, we're never even going to know about it. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boopity boop, 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 billy bop. Yeah, it's anybody that tracks politics, religion, anybody wastes any energy on anything out there, it just makes you oh so mad. To them I say, enjoy your world. Because the only reason why we go to war out there, all the reason why world wars happen and military engagements is because you have freaking these dudes with inferiority complex that just want to go down and rain the blah blah of hellfire blah, because the egomaniacal Viagra chomping freaking probably a lot of Pisces, Cancer, and Virgo men. Going out there because this is how it is and blah blah blah. I had a roommate one time. She's a trash heap too. Her name's Tanis Brainerd. And she she didn't have the girl code, right? Like you don't screw with your friends Yeah, she didn't have that at all. She's just a terrible, awful person. She said I didn't take care of my dog. And then I got that on a voicemail. And then I confronted her with that. And she was like, "How did you hear that?" That was a conversation I had with Abby. She get drunk and then just try to frickin' she's just a dumbass. Cuz I worked with her an age and then she went over to contracts. Contracting. That's how I learned about the world of contracting. You dress real nice and you pit. It's sales for the military. It's why. Oh, okay. $10,000 for a heater duct. Let's go over here and buy him from this company. I know a guy. He sells them, and then the middleman gets a cut. Everybody wins for these heater ducts that are 10. We went round and round with that every single year because the SPs, the security police, the tiny hand brigade, the little gunners, the fraternal order of butt stuff, little fuckers, they would break them. They were this big around, they're 12 inches, and they'd squeeze them down to this, and then they'd wedge them, they'd roll their window down, stick them in there, and then roll their window up, and then they'd be nice and cozy and warm while they slept in their car when they were supposed to be on duty. Good thing there wasn't cell phones back then. The pictures I would have got, taken to the first shirt, dereliction of duty, dereliction of duty. They never got in trouble. It's just about being accountable. It's about people doing what they want, and it shits on other people, and it breaks other people's stuff. And then other people aren't supposed to be mad, and when they get mad and they retaliate and to defend themselves, then there's the broken laws, jail incarcerations. This country's stupid because it's run by the stupidest cousins. I got one of them important people in my history. He wrote the first book on fishing ever. His name is Isaac Walton. It's funny. He has 2 A's in his first name, and I went to AA. Baptized 21 September 1593. Died 15 December 1683. He's an English writer best known as the author of The Complete Angler in 1653. He also wrote a number of short biographies, including one of his friend, John Donne. They have been collected under the title of Walton Lives. This is my grandmother's ancestor. My lips are fuller, see? DNA is just like bringing history into the present. So I'm half Pilgrim and I'm half Indian. The inner conflict within me that I've had to resolve is resounding. So anyway, doesn't matter who you're related to. Again, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you are. The things that matter is what you do with what you are. And it's funny because he had a hotel. He had a hotel, the Walton House at 120 Cherinsey Lane, occupied 1927, because he's about the traveler. He moved to London in his teens. In the capital, he befriended a poet and clergyman, John Donne, a royalist during the English Civil War. Walton returned to his home country of Staffordshire, settling at Shallowford, following the royalist defeat at Monstar Moor in 1644. Though Walton had returned to London by 1650, his experience at Shallowford provided material for The Complete Angler, a celebration of the art and spirit of fishing. First published in 1953. Throughout his life, Walton published biographies of subjects including Don and Henry Wotton. These were later collected as Walton Lives. Walton's literary admirers have included Charles Lamb, and he gives his name to places and organizations in his native country, the United States and Kenya. Walton left his residence at Shallow local to the poor. It's now maintained as a museum to his legacy. So, I guess it's in my DNA, my family blood, to help the traveler. Because I've been the traveler. So I'm gonna get my own embroidery machine. I'm gonna print out my own t-shirts. I'm gonna get my own label maker, and I'm gonna do my own screen print. And I'm gonna make my own candy, and I'm gonna make all this food, and I'm gonna just share with people. And that's how I'm gonna spend my time. I'm not gonna worry about what other people do. And if they got dirty hearts, I ain't gonna play with them. If they got dirty hearts and they want to know how to cleanse their heart, I've had a dirty heart and I had to learn how to cleanse my heart. So if they want to learn what I did to not live that way, I'll be glad to help anybody battle the demons which cause their addiction. Because that's what I had to do. You don't get rid of your demons. You just don't let them rule your life. We all got demons are character defects. It's more simple that it's demons are that thing that say, hit that vape. Or drink that booze. Or do those things that separate you. Do all those things to separate you. That's what the demons do. And I've been trying to be a part. And I was a part. But I joined things, and then people are like, we don't want you apart, because like attracts like, and I ain't no demonic, egomaniacal asshole no more. I grew past that. So here I get to share my truth and spread my truth because I was there. I was there when we bombed Iraq. I was there. I saw how none of it was all so terribly unnecessary. And then I tell people, America's a lie. And then they get mad because they got duped, and it's like, shame on you, not shame on me. What are you gonna do? I just watch, and I go outside, I let the dog out, and I listen to people race around. I go out at 6:30 in the morning. There's already sirens and emergencies happen. There's only 6,000 people in this whole town. It baffles me. And yet people make their little TikToks and they act like they have this magical, beautiful life. And it's like, dude, ain't no such thing. You live in Taos, New Mexico. Like, it don't matter how beautiful your life is. You're surrounded by people with generations of curses because they live selfishly, ignoring everybody else's plight, never helping nobody but yourself. That's pretty sure what all the religions say. Don't do that. Yet here we are. Everywhere I look, people doing that. Me first. Me. All these beakers on planet. Me. So I'm trying to make a world where there ain't no Thanksgiving, there ain't no there are no holidays, there's no religions. If people like sports, they're going to go down and play on Sunday afternoon in the park like they used to. You know, they're not going to gather, they're going to play more and watch more. So people are going to start participating in their lives more and be less spectators and put the controllers down. You want to create a reality instead of like The Sims, go out and make it. I'm so excited for that little AI bubble to pop. Because what are you grown-ups playing with frickin' lazy man toys like leaf blowers, right? Trying to get people to believe how things are. Because they'll believe what they see over what they know every second, every day. And then I ain't paying for no dumbasses F-350. Because any dumbass that would buy a new F-350 in 2025 is exactly that. A dumbass. It's all about ego and clout and what they think that they deserve. And it's like, I don't see. Yeah, people don't want me to talk with me on their I podcast or whatever. That's cool. At least I had never been on one time. I see people that are on like, oh, they're on this though. They ain't return guests. They're not the return guests. So I mean, yeah, I don't get on it, but people that know me and like me in real life, they know me to be a really cool chick. You know, they just see so that like their perception of me is I'm a jerk or something like that. When every time people get to know me, they like me unless they feel like they fall short. Unless they're like competitive and feel like they can't keep up with all the good stuff that I do, and that's fine. I haven't always been this way. It's taken me 5 decades to be this version of myself. And I just think about what I would have been if I would have just done what I wanted all those years, because I'm a grown ass adult. And I never listened to that discipline in me. I never listened in my little voice that says, Marge, this world is not just for you, it's for people around you. I see. See, that's the thing is, I'm not gonna get all ugly and nasty and gross when I get old, because all that is resentment. It's self-loathing. It's remorse. It's guilt, and I don't have that. Because a lot of that comes from with like people shitting on their parents. Like they never try. I did everything I could to be the best daughter to my father. He didn't want to have nothing to do with me, so okay. You don't have to have anything to do with me. So I do him that favor, and I afford people the dubious luxury every day of not having anything to do with me. They don't have to know me. They don't have to see me. I don't have to exist on that world, because I don't even exist on planet Earth, see? You know how you could tell that people are out of this world? It's because they don't have any Earth in their charts. I have no Earth in my chart. What keeps me here is acts of service. Otherwise, I could go off and not ever be seen by anyone like Bigfoot ever again. And I would be perfectly content. And the rest of the world will just go on doing its merry own thing, with this stupid holiday and that stupid holiday, trying to recreate dreams all the while. The only thing that mounts is disappointment. So, I'm done trying to fix the world. I'm going to go off and make a place where the world is just fine for us. And if people want to come and be a part of that, then maybe one day they'll get an invite. Like, I'll be like Charlie the Chocolate Factory. Come out and hang out with Marge where Marge lives, and then I'll be a tour guide, and I'll take you around to show you all the stuff. Last night, when Mom was laying down to go to bed, I started watching a movie that she used to watch when I was a little girl, and it's called The Unsinkable Molly Brown. And it was made in 1964 with Shirley MacLaine in it. And she was this tough and tumble tomboy. And then Mom saw that, and she was tough and tumble. And then I watched Mom, and I'm tough. So we got all these strong women out here that really don't participate in all the other silly stuff. Because, where do we fit in? I don't want my man. I don't want your man. I don't want your woman. I don't want my woman. I don't want nobody else. I don't play in the rat race. I don't want Halloween. I don't want Christmas. I don't want 4th of July. I don't want to live in a place where they participate in any of that stuff, and I don't want to get stuck in other people's loops. I don't want elections in my world. I want people to gather, exchange ideas, and talk about what's right for everybody, not just for a bunch of people that have never had to worry about missing a meal. Because people that have always been taken care of, they don't know what it's like to take care of other human beings. They have no idea. They have no clue. So I'm ready for the power shift. The shift of power. And I'm going to just go do what so many other people are doing, just their own thing. It'll be good. It'll be great. You know, and then maybe one day I'll quit doing these videos altogether, but at least there'll be a video account, video diary of the last 7-8 years of my life, of all the things that I did to stay off the street, to get my life on track, to not drink, to not do drugs, to not cause an insurmountable amount of pain in other people's lives. I'm an annoyance. No more than that. I haven't broken no laws. I haven't stolen from nobody. I haven't lied to nobody. I kept it nice and level on the up and up. I've fallen on my face. I've made mistakes. I've designated my mistakes here on the internet. You know why I tell everybody the stupid stuff I did? Because if I'm going to be embarrassed about my behavior, I'm going to put my behavior out there. And if I keep acting that way, I'm going to keep telling people. I'm going to break myself down because I don't want to have to be accountable and keep saying, oh, I did this again. I did it again. I fell off, I did this. I don't want to be that person. So I just take away the things that make me do the things that make me do stupid things. While I'm surrounded by people that just consume. So we'll leave them to it. Anyway, Ma, you about ready to get up, Ma? Yeah. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.